Welcome to North York Community House webinar series. Today, we're going to be talking about applying for Canadian citizenship and most commonly asked questions. My name is Ella Tan, Community and Settlement Worker of North York Community House, and joining me today is Maria Espina, Youth Worker of North York Community House. Let's begin.
How can I start the application?
So the first thing that you should do is to determine your eligibility. That means that you have to be a permanent resident, you have to be physically present in Canada for at least 1,095 days or 3 years in the last 5 years immediately before you apply. You have had filed income taxes for at least 3 years within 5-year period, if required under the Income Tax Act. You demonstrate that you have knowledge about Canadian history. So if you're 18 years old and over, until 54 years old, you have to pass a test for Canadian citizenship. You should not be under a removal order or inadmissible or prohibited on criminal and security grounds. So, after determining that you are eligible through a residence calculator, fill out the application, gather documents in accordance to document checklists, pay your fees online, take your photos, and submit the application.
Can you help me understand what kind of documents I need to submit for proof of language?
For the proof of language, you should be able to submit either one of the following. Result from a third-party language test like CELPIP or IELTS certificate, or you attended or are currently attending a secondary or post-secondary education program in English or French, either in Canada or abroad. A degree, diploma, certificate, or official transcript from a secondary or post-secondary education program showing that you studied in English or French in Canada or abroad. Or you took a government-funded language training program and have achieved Canadian Language Benchmark CLB Level 4 or higher in speaking and listening skills.
Can I leave Canada after I mail my citizenship application?
Well, there is no requirement to stay in Canada while IRCC processes your application. If you need to leave Canada, there are several risks that you should be aware of. If you leave Canada, you must continue to meet the residency obligation to keep permanent resident status. And remember, you must be a permanent resident to become a citizen. If you lose PR status before you take the oath of citizenship, you cannot become a citizen. Bring your PR card with you when you leave Canada so you can return easily. Make sure the card will not expire while you are outside of Canada.
When do I need to start preparing for the test?
So my answer to that question is, it really depends on the person. Some people need just few days, while some people take a few weeks. The rule of the thumb is, start early. Do not wait until the last minute. As soon as you file for application, start preparing for the test. Read the Discovery Canada book. And if you have not received it yet, you can download it for free at www.ircc.ca. And after going through the book, take the simulated test to see how you are scoring in the real test environment.
I heard there have been some changes that took effect last year. So suppose I have a 14-year-old son. Does he have to take the test too?
Well, that's true. In October 2017, the federal government made some changes in the Citizenship Act as a result to Bill C-6. The purpose of these changes is to help individuals who already begun building lives in Canada achieve citizenship faster. Previously, if you were between 14 and 64 years old, you had to meet the language and knowledge requirement for citizenship. But now, if you're 18 years old and 54 years old, you must meet language requirements either in English or French and take the citizenship tests. Other changes that took effect last October 2017 is the physical presence. Previously, you had to be physically present in Canada for 4 out of 6 years with a minimum of 183 days in each of the 4 years before applying for citizenship. But with the new changes, you must be physically present in Canada for 3 out of 5 years with no minimum number of days per year before applying for citizenship. Also, when it comes to the income tax requirement, previously you had to file income tax if required to do so under Income Tax Act for 4 out of 6 years. But now, with the new changes, you have to file Canadian income tax for 3 out of 5 years, matching the new physical presence requirement.
After applying, how long would it take before I'm able to write the actual test?
So we need to check the processing time because it depends on the amount of people or member of the family applying for at the same time. If this is a single person, the application process faster than those who have family. You can also check www.ircc/application.ca. The time between submitting your application and writing the citizenship test can vary from one case to the next and depends on IRCC processing time. When they begin processing your application, they will mail you a letter or send you an email telling you the timeline. Later, they will mail you a notice telling you the time and location of the tests. This is your official confirmation that you'll be taking the tests. You can also check the Client Application Status Service at www.ircc.ca, which will tell you when the IRCC has mailed letters or notices to you. Remember, if you move to a new address, you must notify them of the change by updating your status online.
Do I have to take a day off from my work or school? And how long is the citizenship test?
Well, you just have to be prepared to spend a lot of time for the tests. Test itself is only 30 minutes. However, you should expect to be there for 3 to 4 hours after your arrival for administrative tasks that must be done before and after the tests. Before the test starts, the facilitator needs to carefully check each person's documents, so it can take about 2.5 hours.
And how long would it be before I get the actual test results?
Well, sometimes you'll be given the result right away after you write the tests, and sometimes you will receive the letter by mail.
If I can't attend the citizenship test on the given date, what should I do?
If you are not available on the date and time of the appointment, write IRCC a letter of explanation. Send this letter to IRCC office that scheduled your original appointment. You can send this letter by mail or online using the web form. They will reschedule your appointment on a different date. If you do not attend the appointment, you must contact IRCC within a certain amount of time. The notice they send you inviting you to an appointment will have the contact information. Use this web form and tell them you miss your appointment. If you do not contact in time, they will close your application and you will have to pay again the required fees.
So we talked about passing the test, but what happens if I fail?
Well, no need to worry. If you fail on the first attempt, you will be given another opportunity to rewrite the tests. However, if you failed again for the second time, you will be required to have 15 to 20-minute interview with the citizens judge. The judge will ask 20 questions that may be multiple choice, true or false, or question and answer. The judge will assess whether or not the applicant has correctly answered 15 questions and demonstrated the knowledge to to be granted citizenship. Remember, do not take tests lightly. It is important that you nail it the first time. If you fail, it will make your process more complicated. Do not take chances and practice by taking as many tests as possible.
After I pass the test, what happens next?
Well, there are three things that could happen. One, if you pass the test, finger crossed, you will either receive an invitation for oath taking within 6 months or so, or you will get residency questionnaire requesting further evidence of living in Canada. The chances of getting the questionnaire is greater if you have complicated application, like for example, you have been traveling a lot outside Canada, or you have the same name with someone else who committed a crime, and more. The third one is if the judge needs to clarify more information from you, you will receive a call to appear for a hearing.
And last but not least, how should I prepare for the oath taking?
Well, do not forget to dress appropriately for the occasion. You may invite your friends and family, but you are not required to do so. Do not forget to bring all the original documents with you. Be on time and celebrate becoming a Canadian citizen.
Thanks, Ella. That was really helpful.
Well, if you have some more questions, please visit IRCC website at www.ircc.ca or contact us with our information on the last slide. Thank you and good luck.